Alright, we are back here on WCW Returns. I am the Basement Booker here, and we are on the Go Home show now of right before Fall Brawl. This is the last Tuesday night ignition right before the pay-per-view. Just cutting up some loose ends here right before the pay-per-view to see what we can bring in right before it, as well as just keep hyping up these feuds. Building into the pay-per-view. As we know, Bobby Roode will defend the championship against Rhino. The tag team championships will be the Young Bucks facing off against the champions Kendrick and London. The U.S. title will be up for grabs as well, as Mick Foley will explain tonight at some point, not to spoil anything there. As well as we will see international icon Jushin Liger face off against Stu Sanders. And that and much more tonight we will see on Tuesday Night Ignition, as well as some other things on other various superstars. So let's get to the show here. Alright, so the show opens up with Bobby Roode cutting a promo, talking about how, now that I'm cleared to wrestle, we'll see what tonight has in store for me. I don't plan on wrestling tonight, as the champion only wrestles on big night fights. So I will not be wrestling until Fall Brawl, and nothing will change that. So Bobby Roode laying down the law here. Improvised well. Strong start, crowd hotter. Rating was 77. But Mick Foley says, no, hold on. So what Mick Foley does is he interrupts Bobby Roode as he says that he doesn't want to wrestle tonight, and books a tag team main event match tonight, as it will be the WCW champion Bobby Roode teaming up with Aaron Stevens to go in a face off against the team of Roderick Strong and the number one contender Rhino. Mick Foley and Bobby Roode did amazing, and both storylines advanced. So the main event tonight, we have Rhino and Roderick Strong facing off against Aaron Stevens and Bobby Roode. So that's going to be good to look forward to. In a decent match, Stu Sanders defeats Johnny Gargano in 12-16 by pinfall. Gargano was off his game. He got a 40. Stu Sanders was 62. Just a good little get-over match for Stu Sanders right before he faces Jushin Liger. And he's improving his flying skills, so that's something to look forward to. A decent match here. I know Gargano, a lot of people may want him to go push quick, but I have some further plans for Gargano, and I really don't want to rush him into anything. After the match, though, Jushin Liger shows up on the Titantron and video package highlighting his career highlights and what he's accomplished. And at the end of it, it's him staring right at Stu Sanders from the Titantron video and saying, "I will see you on Sunday." So Jushin Liger laying down the gauntlet, more or less, to Stu Sanders, saying that he is ready for him on Sunday and ready to make his WCW debut. So we cut back to Mick Foley's office. He calls in Chris Hero and RVD and says, look, last week MVP decided to stick his nose into business he shouldn't have and doesn't want either of you two facing him at the pay-per-view. I understand that, actually, because I wouldn't want to face either one of you either. Both of you guys are great competitors, and both of you guys could easily beat him for the belt. So tonight, what we're going to do is both men, you RVD, you Chris Hero, will face off against two different challengers. After the second match, I will come out and announce who will be the number one contender to face MVP at the pay-per-view. Good luck to both of you, and I will see you both later on tonight. So, Mick Foley did not do well. RVD did not do well. Chris Hero is getting better at his gimmick. Gimmick as well. Chris Hero underperformed, and the storyline advanced. 61 rating there. We get in a decent match. RVD defeats Mr. Anderson 829 with a 5-star frog splash. RVD a 50, Anderson a 44, and no improvement. So RVD defeated Mr. Anderson with a rating of 49. A little disappointing there. Another video showing the disturbing images. And then at the end of it, we just get a glimpse of what we think to be this new superstar coming to WCW from behind, and it just says, Bram has chosen his path and is coming for it. So we don't know when Bram is coming or when he's going to show up. And I think this is one of the things I'm very excited for going forward, because I think it's going to be something that's very unique, and I hope that it can be something that I can really build off of. I'm not going to obviously spoil when Bram is coming or who he's going to be potentially seeing in the near future. Alright, so backstage, the Young Bucks, being them arrogant themselves, they see the Motor Machine Guns sitting on the sides in their chairs and say, oh, isn't it a shame, you guys are going to be sitting at home at Fall Brawl watching me and my brother win the tag team straps. As they walk away, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin kind of look at each other, not really liking what that was said from them, and this leads to a attack from Motor Machine Guns on the Young Bucks, turned into a brawl that gets split up by the rest of the roster. So obviously there's no love lost between these two tag teams, but the Young Bucks will get the #1 contendership match against Kendrick and London, and the Motor Machine Guns are banned from ringside, so let's not forget about that now. And about that subpar wrestling, a little heat, Chris Hero defeats Kenny King by pinfall with Death is Welcome. 45 for Hero. He's getting better at his gimmick, and King at 36. No worker improvements. So Hero and RVD both went over. Let's see what Mick Foley's decision is here. So MVP comes down to the ring, and, he's on the ramp saying that, what? No matter what Mick Foley does tonight, neither one of you deserve a title shot against me. That's why last week when I got involved, I want to make sure neither of you got it because neither of you deserve it. Cue Mick Foley's music, and he says, you know what, MVP? For once, you're right. They don't deserve one-on-one matches. Instead, MVP, you will defend your United States Championship because you love getting involved in both these men's matches against both Chris Hero and Rob Van Dam. So, at Fall Brawl, the United States Championship is up for grabs as RVD, Chris Hero, and MVP will be involved. Wow. Mick Foley's getting better as a gimmick, MVP's getting better as a gimmick, RVD's getting better as a gimmick. Crowd got hot. Chris Hero did not come out well. Foley is a real star. So let's book this match here. We got a triple threat here. So we got Chris Hero, MVP, and Rob Van Dam. Bam. So that was something to look forward to as well. Rating of 62, not bad. Alright. And about that, decent wrestling, but little heat. Kendrick and London defeat the Killer Elite Squad 709 when Kendrick defeats Harry Smith by pinfall with sliced bread #2. In terms of ring work, Brian Kendrick was head and shoulders with everybody else. Kendrick and London showed excellent chemistry. Lance Hoyt at 36, Harry Smith at 41, Paul London at 49, and Kendrick at 62. So tag champs have a little tune-up match here, and Harry Smith's in performance skills, so that's good. And at 50, that's not bad. I'll take that. Marty Scurll cuts a promo on Cody Rhodes, talking about how, Fall Brawl, this is my coming out party, Cody. Nothing personal, man. You remember when you did it back in the day when you were a young guy. I can't sit around anymore. I gotta take what's mine. He worked the crowd well, using the freedom and storyline advance, so that's not bad. I was really concerned that Marty's promo was going to be terrible, but it wasn't bad. And about that subpar wrestling and little heat, Marty Scurll defeats Shima Zion in 640 by pinfall with a graduation. Zion of 45, Scurll of 40, 46 rating. No improvements. Marty just start improving because that would be most helpful. And Cody Rhodes attacks Marty Scurll from behind, laying him out with a crossroads, sending his message loud and clear to the young guy that Cody Rhodes is not ready to move along and is no veteran to be messing with. Alright, backstage we have Aaron Stevens and Bobby Roode. Aaron Stevens walks into Bobby Roode's locker room and says, look, man, maybe me and you won't get along all that well, but tonight, Rhino and Roderick, let's not let these two guys beat us at our own game. We're the it factors of professional wrestling. I'm the international savior. You're the it factor. You're the WCW champion. Let's do what we do best, and that's steal the show every time and make these people respect us. And let's make Rhino and Roderick Strong's life a living hell as best as we possibly can. Both guys amazing on the mic here. Rating of 74. And about that, Subpar Wrestling, a little heat. MVP defeats the Amazing Red at 6:38 with a playmaker. Amazing Red at 34, MVP at 58, so a 51 there. No improvement, so MVP just goes over real quick here on Amazing Red and looks good in doing so. We get a promo here from Ryan on Roderick Strong, saying, we heard your comments, Rude and Stevens, earlier in the night, and you know what, we're not scared of you. We're two of the most hard-hitting people in professional wrestling, with the gore and, with Roderick Strong's striking combinations. You know what, like, tonight and even on Sunday, we will prevail over both of you. But tonight, we're going to make an example out of you two who think that they run this place. So we move on to the main event tonight. And a decent match, Aaron Stevens and Bobby Roode drew with Ryan Roderick Strong, following a double countout when Aaron Stevens and Roderick Strong just start brawling towards the entranceway. Bobby Roode is 66, Aaron Stevens is 59, Roderick Strong is 61, Rhino is 65. Aaron Stevens improving in Rumble. Roderick Strong and Aaron Stevens won't stop fighting despite the attempts by security to break them up as they go all the way to the back, and the cameras try to follow them, but obviously they are unable to. Rating of 51. Meanwhile, in the ring, as Bobby Roode's looking at the craziness on the stage, turns around, and Rhino drills him with a gore and stands over the fallen champion with the championship high above his head, declaiming that he will be the next WCW champion. Rhino's getting better at his gimmicks. The storyline has advanced. No improvements. Rating of a 66. And to end the show, rating of a 67 and increased our popularity in 18 regions. So this is, I think, very key as a great go-home show here, in my opinion. Show ended really strong from top to bottom. I think it was really good. The reason the crowd looked so small is because I went up to Canada for the show. I wanted to get Canada some exposure and try to build some popularity up there. But obviously, if you guys like what you saw here, or you want to see something potentially different or somebody new come in, obviously comment below. If you liked what you saw in the booking from WCW Returns here, please like the video. Also, don't be afraid to subscribe. I'm obviously trying to pump out as many videos as possible in very limited time. So you may subscribe and not realize that I have already like 10 other videos pumped out here for WCW. But there's obviously going to be a ton more coming in the next coming month or so. So please look forward to that. But the next video is the second pay-per-view in WCW Resurgence here, which is Fall Brawl. So until then, I will see all of you on the pay-per-view Fall Brawl.